So I read 15 books in the month of July. I'm going to give you those 15 books and the best 5 out of that 15. I have read some really, really good books, and I want to share that with you guys. My name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. So the first book is Terms of Love by Ladii, Sloth by Honesty Price, Bambi by Ladii Nesha, Carried Away by Natisha Raynor, Treacherous Twins by Natisha Raynor, We Could Have Been by Ladii Nesha, Locked In with the Plug by Nick Mills, One of Our Kind by Nicole Jackson, Mutual Obsession by Sharice Carr, Losing Control by Ladii Nesha, Doing the Unthinkable, Nicole Jackson, Spinning the Block with a Thug In, that's Latoya Nicole, All the Smoke by Taylin, Love in the Cartel by Latoya Nicole, and Capadonna by Jaquel J. So just to start off, all the books were good. Some of them were just better than the others. My last 5 were actually the best books, which would have been Losing Control, Doing the Unthinkable, Spinning the Block with a Toxic End, All the Smoke by Taylin, Love in the Cartel, and Capadonna. So I actually have not finished Capadonna. I just started on yesterday, so that one's going to carry over into August. For All the Smoke, you have Saul, who is a father who is very active in his child's life. He has a toxic child's mother, and so they kind of go back and forth, but he gives her grace because she is his child's mother, and that is commendable. He meets Corey, who is on her way to college, and so she is not necessarily looking for a relationship. She has 2 parents, lives with 2 parents, and sort of like a good girl. And she meets up with Solomon and kind of falls in love with his son, and from there they start to get to know each other, and Saul is really smitten with Corey, and they have some complications in there, of course, all the books do, but this one is kind of like a twist. I did not see it coming at all. Really good book. Like I said, between Losing Control and All the Smoke, I could not tell you which one I liked the most, but these were my 2 top favorites for the month of July. Was Doing the Unthinkable by Nicole Jackson. We have Yaya and Will, and these are 2 very young adults who decide that they are going to live their life together, and so decides that she is feeling neglected, and so instead of her and her guy Will having a conversation and working it out, she's assuming what she thinks he's doing. He's not really telling her what he's doing, so they both actually have to just let their imagination take place, and because they are not communicating and getting actual answers, they are just going way left with their imagination and then acting on those situations that they think are happening, not really knowing. It's a really good read. It is intriguing. There is also a Facebook page, which is super cool because you get other people's perspectives on what's happening in this book, why they're both feeling the way they are, why they are doing the things that they're doing and making these rash decisions without actually having any real information on what their partner is doing. So I really enjoyed that. It's about all I want to give you about that, but just to say it is a really good book. I truly enjoyed it. Is Spinning the Block with an N-I-G, you know the rest. And this one is about a young girl named Larissa who is in high school. She is on her way to college. She is super smart. Her parents have a really tight rein on her, and one of the corner boys has a crush on her. And so whenever they see each other, just in kind of passing, they talk, and he only knows her from that. But the time that they have spent together, he is really super interested in her. She's interested in him. And she has these jealous I mean, like, hater friends, that's them. And they set them up. Only something really traumatic happens for both of them, and they are no longer in contact for a few years, and then they see each other in the future, and so now they have to work out what happened and why they had not seen each other, and all of these things. And the thing is, he's a street guy, but he is the top of the food chain, so he doesn't really like games. He's not letting anybody talk to his woman crazy. He's gonna take care of whatever she needs. Like, he is literally taking care of her before she even asks for what she needs. This one was another really, really good book. As a matter of fact, I would put this book up there in the same place with All the Smoke and Losing Control. This was different from Losing Control. It's more urban, and All the Smoke is kind of urban, and Losing Control, I don't know, it's kind of more romancy. I think for me, that's the way I look at it. But this is a very good book. Like, the book is so good that I read this and then I got stuck. I could not find another book to follow this one. And that, to me, is when you know you've read a good book, when it's really hard to find a book to follow the book you're reading. But I'm also a mood reader as well, so that makes a difference. But after this, I tried a couple books, couldn't get into them. One of the books that I tried was One of Our Kind by Nicole Jackson, which is not urban fiction. It is not a romance. I really couldn't tell you what it is. It's maybe like a thriller, but it's not like suspenseful or anything. Maybe a mystery. I'm not sure what it is. But although I read it, I wasn't really into it the way I would normally be into it. So I'll probably wind up reading it again. And that's because it followed this book. So what wound up happening is I went back to Latoya Nicole and I wound up reading her book, Love in the Cartel. Now, Love in the Cartel, that book. Now, what you guys say, it had you in a chokehold? Like, this one was smothering me. The book was so crazy, so way out. Like, I literally could not put it down while I'm being disgusted, but I cannot put it down. I don't mean disgusted. There's a lot of trigger warnings in there, and so it will trigger lots of people because it's a lot going on. But the book, it is something else. It is something else. I enjoyed that book. As a matter of fact, now here we go. So this one also goes in the same. So we've got Losing Control, All the Smoke, Love in the Cartel, Spinning the Block with a N-I-G. And I started reading Capadonna. I started reading Capadonna yesterday, so technically it would be July. However, I didn't finish it and going into August. But Capadonna is starting out really good. Love in the Cartel has a part 2. And yeah, so I am really looking forward to part 2. And if you paid any attention, there's a bunch of similarities with me reading multiple books by Ladii Nesha, multiple books by Latoya Nicole, and multiple books by Natisha Raynor. Those are my go-to when I need something to read. Like, when I can't find anything, when I can't get in it, and I only just found Latoya Nicole was telling about Spinning the Block with a Toxic End. So that's how I found that book, and the book was so good I knew that I could just instantly go back and find something in her catalog to read, and it worked out. So she's gonna be on my go-to list. So that was my 15 books for the month of July, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, see you later.